The How To Store podcast is your portal to the digital world, a podcast for anyone who creates content. Hosted by me, Joe Speaks Digital. We'll be talking about leadership, marketing, personal development, social media, of course, and content creation, throwing in a little bit of mindset and well-being while we're doing it. We interview people who are shaping the digital landscape and take you behind the scenes of their success. So are you ready? Let's do this. Joe Speaks Digital. Let's get into the podcast. But on the podcast itself, it stalled for a little bit and I kind of pod faded, but then I faded back, right? So I was like, in those movies where you see the person is like invisible and they kind of like go down, but then they come back. That was me. So I'm back, you guys. Super excited to hop into today's topic about the best Instagram content for you to share, because I feel like this is a conversation that I can have on the podcast, but I can also have on my YouTube channel. So, as you all know, or I'm going to tell you now if you didn't know, each one of the podcast episodes from here going on forward, you will have an episode here on the podcast, but there'll also be a YouTube episode that you can take a look at as well. So, you can feel free to either listen to me in your ears or you can watch me on Instagram if you want to see all my facial expressions and my daughter's point chart of when she gets her rewards for being good at school. So, which are on my wall because, yeah, I had to create a minor cubicle in my home because I have distance learning kids at home. How many of you have distance learning kids? Go ahead and type that down in the chat below if you're looking at this on YouTube. How distance learning is going for you if you are a distance learning mom. I am back. This is the podcast. We're going to talk about how to's, how to do's, what you should be doing, how you going to do it, which ways you want to do it, some marketing stories, all this good stuff. We're going to talk about it all. All right. So the best Instagram content for you to share. So let's go ahead and start with that. So I've been really active on Instagram, and what you're going to see coming up here really soon is I'm going to be active on a lot of different platforms. I'm going to be creating content and just bringing out content a lot. I was doing that before and I kind of fell into a content rut a bit, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore or whatever. And then I realized the reason why. So before we get into the best Instagram content for you to share, I want you to think about your reason as to why you're on the platform. What are you doing this for? I've been in several clubhouse rooms, and every single time someone comes up and they talk about what they want to do, I need to get more followers. I need to get more followers. I need to get more likes. I need more engagement. I always go back to, what is your intention? What is your intention being on this platform? What are you here to do? For me, I am here to teach and to educate. I bring edutainment. That's the name of the word. I'm trying to say the word in my sentence, but it's not flowing very well. So edutainment is what I do. It is definitely what I do. And I love to entertain as well as educate. I love to teach you all, share new ideas, share new products and tools that I find, things that I feel like will be of interest to you, and resources that I come across, and also people that I feel have really great voices that I want you all to hear from. So that is the reason why I'm on Instagram, why I'm on social media as a whole. I know our kids are on this stuff, and I want to impact them in a positive way. And I want you to do so. And hopefully you'll come along with me and share some of your expertise there. So, moving on into today's topic, I am back. Your girl is back. I'm here to disrupt and kick and punch and swing and dance and do all the things here on my podcast, as well as on Instagram and on LinkedIn. So I'm going to disrupt LinkedIn. Boom. Anyway, I'm going to disrupt LinkedIn. So we'll put in some things there. The best Instagram content for you to share. What is the best Instagram content for you to share? Let's go ahead and dive into that, shall we? Instagram reels are amazing in that Instagram will push out your first reel. So your first reel is going to get all this traction. You're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, I got to create another one because I got so much engagement." So we all know that when you use social media, you get a dopamine release, right? It just boosts up your energy and you're like, "Oh my gosh." So I'm going to actually read this from a blog that I found that I thought that this was very helpful. Hold on, let me remove the notification that I have here. Okay. So When dopamine levels rise, they reinforce the pleasure feeling that will allow individuals to continue seeking the activity. This is the strategy many social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat use to market and hook many users, as described by research technician Trevor Haynes at Harvard Medical School. Cognitive neurologists have shown that rewarding social stimuli, such as laughing faces, positive recognition by our peers, messages from loved ones, these activate the same dopaminic reward pathways. Humans seek social interaction and thrive in these social settings while seeking validation from others. When you share a post, it is expected that the individuals visit the post, comment, or like it, which leads to a notification that alerts you of recent activity on your post where others have acknowledged your ideas and opinions. So, this is the key, my friends. This is the key, people. Okay. So, we do these things and we're looking for validation outside of us. We're looking for people to say, oh, that was good. I like that. Right. So, how does that now brings me down to back to reels. So, Instagram Reels. So with Instagram Reels, what they'll do is they'll push it out the first time. You'll get this big dopamine release. Oh my gosh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So many people have seen this. And then you'll do it again. And essentially what you'll do is you'll create more content. Now, this does help in your business. Now, let's tie it all back to our business, right? Fear of missing out leads to us creating content with reels. Now, is this the right plot? Is this the right type of content for you? Is the question. Let's hang on to that. Next is IG Lives. Now, with Instagram Lives, what'll happen is you'll get people in your feed, or maybe no people that are watching you. You'll get people watching you, or maybe no people watching you. What that then does in turn is you'll get people to interact with you, chat with you, all that good stuff, which once again hits back to this dopamine release. Now, are lives good for you? Do you want to use lives as content creation? Now, I say all of this and I give you all this background nerdy stuff because I'm a nerd at heart. In addition to that, I want you guys to understand that you can do any of these things that I mentioned here, but which one is right for you to do in order for you to get your result, right? Not just the result of the dopamine release, but the result of building your business and making money from the content that you create. So, pin in that, put a pin in that. Next, we have single images. So, single images. So, the pro to single images is that you can post it. You can create images with, text on the side. It helps inform people. Now, the thing about this is that it typically doesn't have as much engagement. People kind of scroll over it because they're just used to seeing photos. They're like, okay, cool, you took a photo. Good for you, right? So those are single images. Carousel posts. Carousel posts are good in that they put you in a particular section in Instagram. So the way that the algorithm works is it categorizes everything. It works exactly like a brain. So the way that our brain works is that we look at people and we categorize them based upon the clothing that they wear, the way that they interact, what they say, the way that they speak, so on and so forth. Same thing happens on Instagram, right? Instead of a physical person seeing you with the eyes, it's taking in your actions and your behaviors, and then it's putting you in particular categories based on your actions and the things that you post. So, for instance, if I have an account, which I do, called the How To Store, right? The How To Store podcast has its own account that I created for it. With that particular account, if I start to do carousel posts on that account, it's going to put me in a category with other accounts that have carousel posts, which we are actually doing right now. And that will then feed the algorithm. So when people are looking at accounts that have carousel posts, then they'll say, "Oh, let me recommend Jessica's How To podcast as well because she does a lot of carousel posts." So obviously, if they like carousel posts, they'll like those posts as well. Now, those carousel posts have to fall within a particular type of niche as well. So if I'm talking about digital media and utilizing those hashtags, it's going to put me with the carousel posts with digital media and hashtags. Like say, for example, I started posting carousel posts, but then I put hashtags that have something to do related to nursing or doctors or something to that effect. It's going to put me with carousel posts, but carousel posts with physicians, doctors, and medical staff. Does that make sense? It's going to categorize you. So are carousel posts the right thing to do? Well, let's take it the next one, right? We went through lies, IGTV. So IGTV videos are great when you want long form content. Reels are short form content. Stories are short form content. That's another one. Stories are another one, right? Story posts are another one. Those are both short form content. They fall within a certain amount of seconds where it's just a quick flash. I have to tell you guys, aside from this, Snapchat is a platform full of short form content, drives me nuts. However, TikTok is a short form of short form content that is video only, doesn't drive me as nuts for some reason. Don't know why. How would you think about that? What drives you absolutely nuts to where you're like, oh, I can't even look at this. I can't anymore. So when you think about the type of content you should be creating and you should be posting, first of all, I want you to think about the time that you have. Because with photos, just static post, with stories, trying to think of what else, IGTV, they won't take too much of your time if you already have your content, if you already recorded your content or you already took the pictures. You don't need too much time there. The majority of your time is going to be spent doing your captions and putting in your hashtags, right? So that's all your written content that goes along with your post. Now, on the other hand, if you want to dive into Instagram Reels, live streaming, Instagram Live, or you want to dive into what was the other one that I listed there? Let me make sure I got them all. Yeah, either of those. I think that's it. Yeah, either of those are carousel posts. That's where it is. Carousel post. Let me tell you right now, they're super time consuming unless you have a team. Now, if you have a team, you can have someone you can just send your content to them, and they can go and chop it up and do what they need to do. With Reels, what's essential in Reels? Music. You must have music in your Instagram reel. It's like almost like the oath you have to take before you do an Instagram reel. I will put in music in my content. I will do a dance. And you don't have to dance. So let me say that. But let me tell you right now, you're going to get more views if you dance. But if you don't want to dance, you don't have to do that. But like music is a yes. Is a yes. Now, are there some people that just get on? Oh, hit my elbow. Are there some people that just get on and just go, hey, so today I'm going to be teaching you about whatever, and this is whatever? Yes. Now, they still get traction, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you really want some great interaction, some great engagement, which is ultimately why we're doing this, then you definitely want to stick to the environment of the platform and create for the platform. And as far as Instagram Reels goes, for that particular type of media, music is almost a must. Well, it is a must. Let me not say even almost. It is a must. All right. So that's Instagram Reels. Also, there's all this type of editing that you need to do in the app and putting in text. It's very time consuming. Carousel post, what you're doing is you're creating anywhere from 3 to 10. I believe 10 is the max. Either 9 or 10 is the max on carousel post. And that is up to you. Take a moment, first and foremost, to understand why you're creating the content. Think about the purpose behind the post. I always talk about this, the purpose behind the post. The purpose behind the post. What is your purpose? The purpose behind the post. The purpose behind the post. The purpose behind the post. What is your intention? The purpose behind the post. Okay, so anyway, we're going to use that. Think about why you are posting this particular type of content, what you want to get from it, what your audience is going to receive from it, and then how it will help you move your business to the next level or build a relationship or get people to follow you, whatever your end result, whatever you want that end result to be of that content, right? And when you think about that, the next step after that is to, okay, how much time do I have? How much manpower do I have? Do I have people on my team to help me? Do I have content that I can use already? All that good stuff. Do I have content that I can repurpose? Do I have videos I can repurpose into content? Looking at and taking an assessment of what you already have and what you can reuse. The third point is, what do you actually like to create? So now that you've taken an assessment of or gone through and looked at everything that you had and done an audit, let's use that word. You have an audit of everything that you have. How can you use that in your business, and how can you create more of it? Which one of those assets and those things that you've created do you love to create? Do you love to write versus doing a video? Would you prefer to do audio only? What are the things that you need to do, or what are the things that you enjoy doing? There we go. What are the things that you enjoy doing that you could create more of and that you don't mind creating on a continuous basis? For me, I love doing video. I love podcasting. So I can sit here and talk to you guys about digital media and media all day long, right? Give me a topic, give me some people, give me a question. I just, blah, 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 right? So I know that video content is very strong for me. On the other hand, writing is just not your thing. It's not my thing. It's not your girl's thing, right? I am a digital problem solver. I love to solve digital problems. Now, ask me to write about solving digital problems. I'm going to be like, yeah, no. What I can do is voice over it for you. What I can do here is turn on any voice recorder and I'm going to speak and hopefully it'll write the text for me, right? So, voice to text is my friend. With that all being said, now that you understand the different types of content that you can post on Instagram, ways in which you can identify the type of content you should be posting on Instagram, ways to use the content that you already have and repurpose that, or how you can take an assessment and audit your content to move forward so you can create more content and keep it consistent. That's a whole nother podcast for another day, is staying consistent with your content. Now you can start to move forward. So, what did you learn from today's podcast? DM me on Instagram at Joss Speaks Digital. I would love to hear your thoughts. So, we all know that the most effective way to grow your business is by creating content that engages your audience. Let me walk you through the process of creating engaging video content and find content ideas that best match your audience. Content is a powerful tool for business owners and marketers, but it's easy to get stuck in a content rut. If you're unable to generate fresh ideas that are relevant to your business, that's why I created the 7-day Instagram Reels content plan. This plan will introduce you to 7 content ideas that can be used by anyone, regardless of your industry. For listening to the How to Store podcast, Digital Marketing Explained, hosted by me, Joss Speaks Digital, powered by Joss Speaks Digital. And I will look forward to seeing you all and hearing you all soon. If you are listening to us on Spotify, on Apple iTunes, go ahead and leave us a review. I believe there's reviews on Spotify. I can't remember. But go ahead and leave us a review on iTunes, or go ahead and just DM me your review, or just add the review to your stories and tag me in your stories. I would love to hear from you and what your takeaway was from this week's podcast. And if you're creating content, tag me in your content. I want to see it. I want to see what you create, and I can't wait to see what you create soon. Wishing you wellness in life and in business. Until next week. Peace.